Stop overthinking and start speaking English naturally. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Learn English Through Stories. Today, we are going to talk about something that affects almost every English learner at some point: overthinking. You want to speak, but your brain starts analyzing every word, every grammar rule, every pronunciation detail, and suddenly you freeze. The words are gone, and the moment to speak has passed. It is frustrating, but it happens to so many people learning English. So why does this happen? And more importantly, how can you stop it? How can you speak English naturally without constantly second-guessing yourself? In this episode, we are going to break it all down. We will talk about why overthinking happens, how it slows down fluency, and most importantly, how to overcome it. At the end of the episode, we will also give you a 30-second speaking challenge to help you start practicing right away. So make sure you listen until the end, because this will change the way you think about speaking English. Let's dive in. Why do we overthink when speaking English? Before we talk about solutions, let's first understand the problem. Why do so many English learners freeze up and overthink before speaking? One of the biggest reasons is the fear of making mistakes. Many learners worry about saying the wrong word, using incorrect grammar, or mispronouncing something. They think, what if I say something wrong? What if people laugh at me? What if they do not understand me? This fear causes hesitation, and hesitation makes speaking harder. But here is the truth. Native speakers make mistakes all the time. They mispronounce words, they forget grammar rules, they even start sentences and do not finish them properly. But they keep talking. The difference is that they do not overthink it. English learners, on the other hand, try too hard to speak perfectly. They pause too much, they correct themselves too often, and in the end, they do not say anything at all. Another reason people overthink is that they translate from their native language instead of thinking directly in English. Instead of forming sentences naturally in English, they think of an idea in their native language and then try to translate every word before they speak. This takes too much time, and by the time they are ready to talk, the conversation has already moved on. Another common problem is lack of confidence. Some learners believe they are not good enough, or that their accent is too strong, or that their vocabulary is too small. So they stay silent instead of speaking, and that silence makes the problem worse. The less you speak, the more nervous you feel about speaking, and it turns into a cycle of overthinking and avoiding conversations. But here is the good news. You do not need to be perfect to speak English fluently. You just need to be confident and keep talking. And that is exactly what we are going to help you with today. How to stop overthinking and speak English naturally. Now that we understand why learners overthink, let's talk about the solution. Speaking English fluently is not about thinking harder or studying more grammar. It is about breaking free from hesitation and speaking more freely. Here are some of the best ways to do that. Tip 1. Think in English instead of translating. One of the biggest reasons for overthinking is trying to translate every sentence in your head before you speak. This slows down your speech and makes your English sound unnatural. Instead of translating, train your brain to think directly in English. You can do this by describing your daily activities in English. For example, when you are making coffee, say to yourself, I am making coffee. The water is boiling. I am pouring it into my cup. The more you do this, the easier it becomes for your brain to form sentences quickly without needing to translate. Tip 2. Speak without worrying about grammar. Grammar is important, but it should not stop you from speaking. When you are having a conversation, your goal is to communicate, not to be perfect. Even if you make a mistake, people will still understand you. In fact, native speakers often ignore small grammar mistakes because they care more about what you are saying rather than how perfect your grammar is. If you focus too much on grammar while speaking, you will pause too much, and that makes you feel less confident. The best way to improve is to keep talking and worry about small mistakes later. Tip 3: Practice speaking with yourself. A lot of learners say I do not have anyone to practice English with, but here is a secret. You do not need a partner to practice speaking. You can talk to yourself every day and it will still help you improve. Stand in front of a mirror and have a conversation with yourself. Describe what you are doing throughout the day. Talk about your plans for tomorrow out loud. If you keep speaking out loud every day, your confidence will grow and speaking English will feel more natural. Tip 4: Use the shadowing technique. Shadowing is one of the best ways to improve your fluency and pronunciation. It works like this. Find a native speaker audio clip like a podcast or a YouTube video. Listen to what they say and immediately repeat after them, copying their pronunciation rhythm and tone. This helps you develop natural speech patterns and train your mouth to produce English sounds correctly without hesitation. Shadowing is like a workout for your tongue and brain, and the more you do it, the more natural your English will sound. Tip 5: Keep your sentences simple. Many learners hesitate because they try to make long and complicated sentences. But you do not need to be fancy when speaking English. Simple sentences are clearer and more effective. Instead of saying "I would like to discuss an important matter with you," just say, "Let's talk about something important." If you keep things simple, you will feel less stressed and more confident. Speaking challenge. Speak for 30 seconds without stopping. Now it is time to put these tips into practice. We have a 30-second speaking challenge for you. Here is how it works. We will give you a topic and you have to speak for 30 seconds without stopping. No pausing, no overthinking, just keep talking. Here are 3 topics to choose from. 1. Describe your morning routine. 2. Talk about your favorite hobby. 3. Describe a place you want to visit. Pick one and start speaking right now. If you do not know a word, find another way to explain it, just keep going. Final encouragement. Speaking fluent English is a journey. It is not about reaching a final destination, it is about progress, not perfection. Do not wait for the perfect moment to start speaking. The perfect moment is right now. The more you speak, the more confident you will become. The more you practice, the faster you will improve. So stop thinking and start talking. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe for more and keep practicing every day. See you in the next video of Learn English Through Stories.